All right, good morning. I'm Scott Moon from scottmoonwriter.com. Welcome to the Moon Base. I'm doing a little YouTube only video. This isn't going out on the Facebook just because it's more for a vlog. So I've been trying to vlog, or I'm trying to blog every day. Just some short things, thoughts I had, mostly as an exercise to myself. I think it's a good habit. I've been reading about Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism, and he kept a journal just for himself. So this is a little bit different. It's obviously public, but I'm doing the blog more for kind of the self-discipline and just to kind of see where it goes. In the past, I've done a lot of things to try and connect and do with readers and my writing business and stuff, hoping to find the secret to huge success or whatever. But I'm just doing this time. We're just to see how it goes. So far, I like it. Seem to get a pretty good response with the first couple of blogs. And so today, I thought I'm going to try to vlog instead. I wrote a short description. I dropped that in there. You can see that at scottmoonwriter.com on my blog page. And then I put it in the description, or at least some of it in the description of this YouTube video. So I'm getting started. It's morning. I'm feeling kind of washed out. The lights are different. I don't know why it's different than when we do the Keystroke Medium show, but whatever. And we're going to get going. So I made some high-tech notes on my hand right here. Oh, that looks terrible. It looks like I've been eating Cheetos or something because I only had a red pen available at my desk for some reason. So what I'd like to talk about is the idea of working too hard or working hard enough, and where's the difference. I had read a while back from an inspirational speaker that you needed to work hard, so hard that people told you to stop because you were crazy. And that's kind of how I've always done things when it comes to writing, or working out or some of these other things. And I actually believe in that. I know there's a time to dial back and give yourself a break, obviously, but it also depends on what you want. Are you doing it as a hobby? Are you serious about writing? Like for me, I'm probably not going to quit my day job because my family enjoys the security of it, at least not until I can do it really on my own terms. So for years, I had thought, I want to write full time. I want that to be my only job. That's my career, my vocation. And to me, you have to write like really put the work in. You know, it's obviously artistic and inspiration based, but like if you're going to draw the analogy, I think I heard, I think it's Stephen Pressfield anyway, he wrote The War of Art and some other books. But there's an analogy he uses where he says, if you're driving a truck from Chicago to California, you can't stop halfway because you weren't feeling it. And artists a lot of times want to write or paint or dance or whatever when the mood strikes them. But the ones that succeed are the ones who treat it half inspiration, half work, and just, really put in the time even when it's not fun. So that's what I've always tried to do. Now, doing that balancing, most artists, even the traditionally published authors, a lot of them have day jobs and families and stuff. So you have to have balance. So that's hard. How do you do a full-time job effort on your writing and a full-time life? Also, well, you have to make a lot of choices. You can't have a lot of junk time. You can't do things that are mindless. Scrolling through social media is the biggest killer for most artists right now, but also just binge watching movies, which I do from time to time, but not all the time. Playing video games, but not all the time. So let's see. Looking at my notes. Several of my close writing friends and family members, even if they're not writers, have had to put up with some of the times when I'm like crazy neurotic or fall into a deep depression or have extreme anxiety because I'm not getting enough words done or getting the projects done on time, or an opportunity is slipping by and stuff like that. Now, I have a particular friend who on Facebook right now asked about how you get the words when you're having depression or anxiety. And I'm getting ready to direct message him and talk about that and support him. That kind of got me thinking about this as it pertains to myself. And that's why I'm doing this particular vlog today. And so I think creative people are naturally kind of a little bit of on a roller coaster, kind of manic depressive by nature in general, because you get super high because you're having all these great creative, wonderful things. And then you get super low because it's hard and because things aren't working out right. And so you're kind of always on a roller coaster. It's hard to be just level all the time. And maybe you shouldn't be, because maybe some of the genius comes at those highs and lows. But so there's always a point where, I mean, I'll reach out to like Josh or somebody and just be like, just unload on them that, oh my God, the sky is falling. And when I look at it a few days later, I look at what I was worried about. I'm like, that's the silliest problem that there's ever been. That really means nothing. I don't know why I was so upset about it. But that happens when you're pushing up to your red line. You push up to the red line and you're in danger of burning out the engine. So you have to be able to draw it back, but you got to push up there or else you're never going to go fast. You're never going to get things done. And shifting gears a little bit on what I'm talking about, like I want to be a writer. Writing is pretty easy at the entry level because most people in America know how to write, sort of. I mean, you at least know the language, you know how to put words on paper. You're bombarded with stories, whether it's through movies or video games or just stories you tell to your friends. Life is about communicating through stories. Anytime somebody asks you something, hey, what'd you get at the store? You tell them a story. So we all know how to tell stories. And the entry into publishing is super easy. If you spend a half an hour or maybe a couple of days, I don't know, depends on your tech level, learning how to upload a book to KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, you can start sharing your work and maybe get money for it. So there's lots of competition, and it's not really a zero-sum game with writing science. Like you read my science fiction book and you pay $3 for it. You can also read one from Jane Chaney or Josh Hayes or any other people who are out there who are writing. It's not a big deal. It's not like I'm selling Ferraris. It's not like I sell you a Ferrari and you now can't afford to buy a Ferrari from one of the other guys. So it's not, but it still is competition because you have to get attention. People have to see what you're doing. You got to get eyes on your book and make connections. So I say all that to come to the point that one of the reasons I believe in working really hard is that if you're serious and you think, well, I can put in a solid 30 minutes a day. And trust me, I've done that where that's all I can do. I will do 30 minutes every day rather than go 3 weeks with nothing. But you have to be honest and admit to yourself that there are writers out there that are doing nothing but writing. Maybe they don't have any family right now. Maybe they have extreme need to succeed because of their financial conditions or situation. Or maybe they're just totally dedicated and that's all they want to do. And so they're putting in 10 hours a day. And if you honestly think your 30 minutes a day are going to lift you above that marker with their production quality, production volume, because the more you do it, the better you're going to get, especially if you're even trying a little bit to improve. So what I'm saying is one of the reasons I work really hard is because I know lots of other people who love to write, have a passion for it, are working really hard. And since I want to retire sooner rather than later, and write full time, that's why I'm a little bit crazy sometimes. So that's that. That's, I've gone longer than I thought this would need, but what else have I got? Oh, what I was just talking about, I believe that comes to critical mass. And I do think there's a point, if you work really hard, you hit a critical mass point where you're starting to see enough sales, you have enough networking done with other writers or publishers or just people involved in the industry to where it gets a little bit easier. When you're not selling any books, it's hard to sell any books. When you sell lots of books, it's easier just because you have some trust capital. You have some, what do they call it? Social proof. Nobody wants to buy a book that has no reviews on it because they're like, why would I waste, do I want to be the one that's going to take the bullet if this sucks on this book? Why not let somebody else read it and, see if other people are liking it too. So it's a general psychology thing, I guess, for that. So the big thing is I like to push hard and work hard and write as much as I possibly can. I'm learning a little bit more about balance. My productivity in the last couple of months has been lower, but it's been steady. And that's mostly been because I have been trying to um, give more time and focus to my job and to my family and to some of those things. And I'm getting back to a balance right now where I think that I can really shift into back into where I was last year with writing, while still being a little bit better person overall to everybody who I care about. So that's about it. We've gone about 10 minutes. That's not too long. It felt like longer. So hopefully it didn't feel like longer to you. In summary, I think what is the name of this blog? Because it was good. Oh, the intrinsic value of going all out. See, this is hilarious. So now I've wrote all this stuff in my hand, but I could just flip the screens on my computer. I'm a genius. The last thing I want to leave you with on this particular vlog is push as hard as you can is my advice. Um, if it kills your soul, then obviously that's the wrong thing to push hard in. But the big thing is, when I was in college, I was on the rowing team. I was not super talented in that, but I worked really hard. And our coach, John Mancari, he would always say, race your own race. And he was extremely competitive and he wanted to win every time. He wanted to not just win, but he wanted to win by a lot. And he was a great coach. But he would say, race your own race. And that's very important. So as long as you're giving it your best, your honest best, which you learn where that line is, the more you practice pushing hard, then you're good. And if you try to race at somebody else's pace and it's too much, you're going to burn out. If you try to go easier than you should be, because that's what everybody's saying to do, then you're going to go too slow. So race your own race. Don't compare yourself to other people. Do it for yourself and the people you care about. Do it for your art. Do it because it makes you feel good, because you have joy, because you love to write. I've said lots of times, if I wanted to just make money, then I could just work a regular job. My advice to almost all writers is, if your main focus is to make money, don't write, because writing is a really hard way to make money. But if I love it and I go to work writing every day, having a blast, that's the job I want, a job. But as soon as it becomes a chore, then I might as well just go do some other job and then just write as a hobby, or play video games as a hobby, or do whatever. So that's about all I got today. I hope that you're having a fantastic week. I guess it's Sunday right now, so you'd be wrapping it up. My weeks are weird because of my work schedule. So have a great day. Have a great week. Good luck on pushing through to that next level. Take care.